give us your opinion on it so far.
Yeah, I like it a lot. For once, the assassins aren't boring or annoying. They actually have character, and then you play 2 different kinds, which is also the first time they're twins. So one is a dude.
And twins.
One is Jacob, and he mostly has he has a big knife where he's got the brass knuckles.
Team Jacob.
Yeah. And then there's Evie, who's mostly like the stealthy assassin. She's your traditional assassin that you play as. So you can go different ways. Or you go and just fuck shit up and kill everyone, or you can stealthy and
later on she turns into Nine Tails.
When we played that.
Oh yeah.
I just beat everyone.
Well, the cool thing too, I mean, the game, it doesn't start out like your average Assassin's Creed. Like, just from watching your Let's Play, it really throws you into the action.
Yeah, you don't have to, because usually you deal with before they're an assassin, and then usually something tragic happens. Like, it's almost always their family dies.
Yeah, I think everyone can agree that it's super annoying at this point.
Yeah, having to go through that and then learning the assassin.
This is how you kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you mean I just press square?
Press X to Jason.
Yeah, it's just like, sometimes it's like, come on, this is easy.
Yeah, but so they just throw you in. They're like, okay, you're assassins, kill these people, and then that's it. You're just let loose. However, there still isn't much of a story. So it's just about them. They weren't even supposed to go to London. They were like, let's just fuck shit up, and so they go to London. They're not even sent there. And then Jacob's like, I want to start a gang, and then Evie goes there because she wants to find another piece of Eden, which is what they always find. So it's, whatever. So they both have 2 different types of missions where they have objectives and searching for different things. And that's about it. I mean, I guess there's this evil Templar guy with like this super huge mustache that he just looks bad and he twirls it. He's a stereotypical bad guy. Yeah. But I mean, that's about it in terms of the story. Then they show you present day stuff. None of it's playable. It's all cutscenes. And I haven't seen enough of it yet to really understand what's going on in the present.
Yeah.
But it's there. Before, even in Unity, it was in the very beginning, the present day, of just saying, hey, we're going to we want you to look at this stuff. And then at the end, when you beat it, they're like, oh, none of that really matters, I guess. And then they're like, don't worry about it. And then they just let you go.
Yeah.
So I guess they're trying to explain a little bit more about it.
I feel like Assassin's Creed, the way they do that, like obviously, with the original Assassin's Creed with Desmond, they kind of had you in the future in the Animus. And I feel like they still want to be like, oh, we want to incorporate this still, because that's how this works. But
I actually really liked the present day stuff.
I did too. Like, it was good when they had Desmond.
You didn't like it?
No.
But
had Kristen Bell in the first 2.
Yeah, it was. I thought some of it was good, but it got to a point where I'm like, well, this is kind of stupid. You run I think it was in the second or third one where you're jumping around a warehouse and this guy could just shoot you, but they don't. Like, it's just
the one where you're climbing the Eiffel Tower from the left. Like, there's just so many
that's
random.
Unity.
Yeah. So I was just like, the hell is happening?
That was my biggest surprise with Assassin's Creed.
I'm jumping on turrets and shooting down planes right now. This is Assassin's Creed.
America.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, and I guess my biggest issue with Syndicate is that before I loved all the settings and the areas. Like, I love the French Revolution is like my second favorite historical era. I'm a history nerd, and then the American Revolution is my favorite era.
Because it's America.
And Pirates was just awesome because who the fuck hates
Pirates? Yeah.
So those are the last 3 games. So like, I don't really have any, I don't really feel anything for Victorian.
I love Victorian London.
I mean, you look dapper as shit.
It's a cool
stuff, and
it's a cool setting, and I haven't played this new Assassin's Creed. It's cool that it's kind of like they're moving more towards like guns are a bigger thing now. It's like you're progressing more and more.
It feels weird. Like, it's the most GTA style Assassin's Creed ever. Like,
I never
and it's just funny to me though.
Yeah,
just the way everything I've seen on it and the way you're describing everything, it really just does sound like another Assassin's Creed. Like, are the missions still the same as type of Assassin's Creed missions? Go kill some guy, tail some guy, like stuff like that. Is it a lot of that?
There's actually no. So I used to really hate the tailing missions. I have yet to do it, but they created a new one that's almost just as annoying. It's where you
the kidnapping.
Yeah, the kidnapping thing. stupid. Like you have to hold on to them, and you have
I
to
saw you
walk
do this
out.
the
And
other day. It was
you're
terrible.
supposed to sneak out without anyone noticing, and
it's like that's why Assassin's Creed's falling into that Call of Duty category where it's just like they're just trying to pump them out every year just because they know people will buy it, and it's like they try to pitch it as like all this new stuff, and it's like the graphics. Yeah, it's
They
like
think
the
that
graphics
changing
are
the
good.
time period will always keep their fans
Even the
away.
new fighting, like I haven't played it, so like take this with a grain of salt.
The fighting is
I haven't-
fast.
I haven't played it.
I personally didn't like
it.
it.
Looks fast, and like it looks a lot different. I don't like the way it looks because it looks so unrealistic.
yeah,
It's so choppy. You know, it's just like bah, 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 and
You
you're
literally
you're
just
doing all
take
of
someone's
these
face, crush it into a wall,
and it looks so choppy, and stuff I've seen too, where it's like you could be one guy, you could be one-on-one with one guy, be beating the crap out of him and smash his face into him, and you have to like smash his face into the ground like 5 freaking times,
yeah.
and I'm just like,
Stab them a couple times too.
There
it's
were a
like
couple people that will go down.
I'm just like sometimes, and the AI in Assassin's Creed games is so bad.
They've never been good.
So
Yeah.
bad. Like the things you can do, you can like pop out, stab somebody in the face, and like pull
The
him
big
over.
guy.
This, and this guy is looking. He's like,
Huh? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like
raises just a little.
it's like Officer Doofy from freaking Scary Movie 1.
Yeah.
You know, like, Officer Doofy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just it's starting to fall into that Call of Duty, like
No,
they
absolutely.
just want to pump one out every year just
And
because they can
You just
They
wonder-
had 2
capitalize
out
on it.
last year.
games like that.
It's like they-
Games like that though, you wonder when they're gonna plateau. To me, like
I think it finally has. Like, there isn't anything really wrong with it. It's just there's
It's
something
and that's the
nothing-
thing,
yeah.
there's nothing new. You know,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
keep on adding like the grappling hook and stuff,
Which
would
is
be
cool.
enough.
It-
It's cool.
it's
But,
cool.
but
Yeah.
I
I
feel
just
like
like
that
the
almost
carriage
counteracts
change,
all the parkour,
It
which
made
is
it
what
better.
Assassin's
It's a lot
Creed
better.
is.
that's the reason I play it.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's
Well, I
like
played it at
know.
PAX too, and it wasn't.
It's better.
PAX.
From what we played at, I don't know, but what we played at E3, I don't.
Oh, yeah, at
they didn't-
E3 it was-
They didn't change the demo. I'm pretty sure for PAX. It's just the same demo that was at. Well, the same build. It was
I
not.
played
It was the
something completely
finished.
different.
Oh no, I know, but
Oh.
it's probably still like the beta or the alpha version
Okay.
from what we played. It wasn't the finished game. They tweaked the carriage writing. It was like dog shit when we played
Well, yeah,
it.
everyone in
I
like
could
the
not-
little
yeah, I couldn't get past
interview
it.
was like, "Fuck the carriages."
It's actually drivable, so I actually don't mind driving the carriages. But yeah, like again, I think what I used to not mind the fighting either. The fighting is very simple in this one.
Yeah.
But like going from a game like this year, like Batman, and then especially Mad Max, which had really good hand-to-hand fighting, like brutal fighting, because Batman's kind of whatever. This one is. I feel like they need to do something with the fighting to make it more interesting.
It's one of those things. It's like that. Ever since Arkham Asylum came out, it's one of those new trends that all the games are taking on. Like when Call of Duty first came out, the whole aiming down the sights with left trigger rather than clicking the right stick.
Yep.
That was never a thing
Which
before.
Halo 5
and
now
then
does.
now, like Halo was always left trigger was grenade, right? And
And you click in the
and
joystick.
you click in the joystick, and then they've all kind of transitioned into that Arkham Asylum fighting style. Everyone's like, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Let's add that in our game. It doesn't work if you're not Batman. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it was like it doesn't work
Everyone
if you're
wants
not
to be
freaking
Batman.
Batman.
But
You know,
it wasn't-
but Mad Max did a good.
Yeah.
Some games do a good job of it. Shadow of Mordor.
They
They did
Yeah.
a good job of it, and a lot of those that makes sense too because he's kind of got little magical powers and stuff like that.
Dude, that game is
Assassin's Creed-
sick as fuck, man.
You know, and Assassin's Creed, the way the fighting was in the games before, like it was like a lot of times only one guy would attack you at a time. Which in these games, that's what
which they
that's
don't.
one of the things you gotta. It's kind of hit
Usually,
or miss.
you're usually juggling between 3 people this time, but it's almost the same rhythm. You're like you're hitting. If you're playing the Xbox controller, it's like X,
XXXX.
B to
Yeah.
counter, or then sometimes they'll like block, so you have to break their block, so you hit A to break the block, then you keep tapping X again, and then B again, and then.
And that's the thing
It's
it
just
starts feeling like the
easy.
old like kind of like hack and slash where you're just cutting through like the freaking Dynasty Warrior kind of game.
Yeah.
You're just all right, slicing through a whole bunch of people,
all kinds
at
of
once.
combos
Like
and
the-
shit.
And it's
Like they have these fight clubs, and you're supposed to get through I think like 8 or 6 rounds all at once, and I can do them without getting hit at all. And I haven't.
Yeah.
like almost all of them, I get hit like once or twice.
And those are those are good because it's like that style of fighting. Which I mean, I enjoy it because it does look really cool, but it's really easy.
Yeah,
you know,
there's
and
no skill to it.
games do that. Like Sleeping Dogs did the same thing, where they had like a fight club, and it was that same fighting style too, where it was just like they had that fight club. We just want to show off the combat because it looks really cool. Because when you do a counter, it's like, oh, that goes into some cool counter animation, especially Sleeping Dogs because it was just brutal. And you're like freaking breaking guy. I mean, it was, but they just do that because it looks cool and it's easy. And
I felt like they could have got away with that earlier just because you're using like swords and like older weapons.
Yeah.
But they have guns. They have modernized weapons.
And so I think they need to do more with that with the Assassin's Creed games because it's starting to feel like the same. The grappling hook, I don't like that addition because
it's great.
But it Assassin's Creed the selling point from day one was the parkour.
You still can do the parkour.
You can do the parkour.
No one does
but
it.
Nobody does it anymore.
When I find every video, I'm like,
every
I'm
video
not
I've seen on
climbing
Syndicate,
this.
everything like that, it's like, yeah, you can parkour. That's still a thing. But like, oh, cool. If I don't have to, again, they like took it from Batman. Again, you know, it's like, grappling hook. Cool, I'm gonna zip line all the way over here.
If you can be Batman, could be
right?
Batman.
And it's just like it. You know,
let me ask you this though, because I haven't seen any of the grappling hook in Assassin's Creed, and a game that I love that had a grappling hook. You guys may be familiar with Just Cause 2.
Just Cause 3. I can't wait for that.
I'm excited too, but that grappling hook was fucking awesome. You could take your parachute out and like fly and like get the momentum to get your chute up and just take off and fly over things.
It's not advanced as the Just Cause because Just Cause you can use it against enemies. You could like grapple hook on like almost anything.
I'm just talking about like as far as transportation. I could grapple hook on anything. I see it, I'm there, like, and I'm strapped up to the side of the building.
You can't go like forward or anything with it, right? Just up.
I'm pretty sure you can go forward.
Like in a lot of games that have grappling
like,
hooks, you can like shoot it forward and pull it
forward. Yeah, because you can make like zip lines in places.
I know you can do the zip line.
Yeah, you can climb across.
Well, no, like if I was
does it function kind of like Batman?
Then shot it into that wall, would it just like?
No, it's only on. So that's the one thing that kind of bugs me with the hook is that it's only on certain ledges, and usually it's like wooden corners and stuff.
That's
like
what
that.
I figured. Okay,
yeah, so it's not on an
It was always because like all the buildings in Victorian London, they come to a peak.
They do, yeah.
So
it's
it
like
was
right
usually like
the,
every peak you could get to.
Yeah. That's one thing that always bugged me too about sometimes when they do that in open world games that they pitch as being open world. When they give you a tool that restricts you to specific points that they, you know, like even like when with climbing in a lot of like open world first person games, Far Cry and stuff like that, when you're rappelling and stuff like that, you can only do it at these specific points. You know what I mean?
I was waiting for this to happen.
And it's just like that always kind of bugged me a little bit because they like tell you it's like, yeah, you got all this freedom, you got these cool climbing tools, you're gonna be able to climb and reach all these cool places. Like, oh yeah, by the way, only where you see this yellow mark. It's like, oh well,
I got him to say.
That's not as cool. It's like if I'm 3 feet to the left of it, I'm like, oh, I'm SOL. And it's Assassin's Creed. It's just like I haven't played this new one, so I can't.
It's fun though.
I mean, it looks fun. It's Assassin's Creed. It just looks like just another Assassin's Creed game. You know, I feel like if I don't play this, I'm not missing a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it's becoming almost like a Madden thing. Like, okay, I can miss on a Madden this year. It's not a big deal.
Sports games have a little bit more of they have a little bit more of a longer leash to me because people want a new sports game every year. People want a new sports game every year because they need the updated rosters. You know what I mean?
I don't mind a new Assassin's Creed every year as long as it brings.
And that's the thing, but with sports games, it's like because it's based in reality and it's something that people relate to, a real thing. It's something that's actually going on, and they want to play as players from their team. Players from their team go to other teams every year, every offseason. Players get drafted.
There's tons of changes.
So people want, people want a new, updated game. And honestly, that's why a lot of people make jokes with Madden and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's just an updated roster every year. It starts to feel like that, but at the same time, people pay for it. That's it's like
and I think Ubisoft will keep pumping out Assassin's Creed game as long as people pay for it.
That's the problem. It's like that's how EA is with their season passes. Like, oh yeah, we'll charge $50 for this Star Wars season pass.
People will buy it
because everybody's going to buy it because it's Star Wars.
Buy it.
People that have a tattoo of the game on their wrist are gonna buy it.
It's like it's Star Wars, so we can charge whatever the hell we want to charge.
I really like Assassin's Creed still. I think it. I mean, it's even though they're pumping it out, it's not like in a way they add it a lot and they give you a whole nother time frame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They just think that changing the place
Yeah.
is gonna keep people around.
And that's
And I mean,
And it
so
won't
far it
that
is
was-
like
when they
It will forever.
when they
Oh,
changed
done.
from Assassin's
Sorry,
Creed 3 to a Black Flag, like
that was
that
Whoa.
was
That was yeah.
that was a big transition because they changed the locale, but they changed like I mean, it was a pirate game.
Oh my god, something I just noticed. Well, I noticed it like 2 weeks ago.
Cool, just now.
Everyone thought that Black Flag was like the first game that did that style of fighting with ships, and then I was playing the Sly Cooper collection, and it's totally in the third game.
No.
I totally forgot
well,
about it.
nothing at this point is original usually. I mean, it's very hard to come up with something new because I feel like if you think about like gaming in general, there's this pool of ideas and concepts, and every kind of game you play has one or another concept that you've experienced in a previous game before. And especially with the combat, like you guys were talking about the combat, how it's, very similar to Mad Max and Batman and, button mashing, it's been around forever, man. If you think about it, like going back to even like Street Fighter, like it's a button mashing game. Mortal Kombat, button mashing game. Obviously, the way Batman does it, it implements it differently. But I think it's a great combat. It's fun. It's intuitive. It's easier to pick up. And
That's the thing. It's fun and it's pretty, but like you have to do it right. Like Mad Max did it right because it just looked more
brutal.
right. And it has to fit.
Assassin's Creed has always been kind of
It
weak.
has to fit in your universe. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, because Batman is like a superhero universe. He's like incredibly trained. And
To me, it
everything.
got over the top in Arkham Knight. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
you can't
it's
tell
like,
me he's not killing those people.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That was the thing. It was like, yeah, the combat, like the stuff he did in itself was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure when you're
fine.
when you're running people over
Yeah.
with the Batmobile,
No,
He's
you're,
fine.
You're
you're,
electrocuting them.
you're telling me that this little taser is gonna like
It tases them.
launch them away. And like while you're driving full speed, that
Their
was
hospitals
like,
must be
there's,
full,
There's
yeah.
no damn way you're not killing them.
Everything, man. He's like he's doing like a triple backflip, back handspring, like kick into
Snaps
somebody's
their-
face.
their
Like,
back,
dude,
yeah.
And that was the
he's
thing.
a beast.
Even Batman got a little over the top with it with the combos and everything because you'd be all the way over here,
how he
Oh,
jumps,
yeah.
and then it was like, oh crap, here's a little like kind of like Metal Gear Solid exclamation point kind of thing over his head. Maybe press Y. Then you're like 15 feet away, breaking this guy's arm.
Games do this shit all the time, though.
And they do though, and that's the thing. It's like you're a little more forgiving when it's Batman
Feels rewarding though.
because you're just like it looks.
When
cool.
I jumped
That's
at
the
15
thing.
feet.
It's like it looks cool, and it's like, oh, it's Batman, so I can kind of see that. When it's happening in Assassin's Creed, you're like, this is just some dude who wanted to start a gang, and now he's like,
The game concept was weird to me.
Yeah,
I only recruited girls.
I thought they would do.
I did. I only recruited the girls.
I thought they do a lot more with it. You can only like recruit 5 people at a time. I think is the max, as far as I know. That's
It's kind of
Well,
lame.
it's because they run around with you. They don't want you running with like a herd of 20 people
Yeah.
right,
through
but like
Victorian London.
That would be amazing.
I try to use the gang for certain activities. Like there's random things that pop up where you can like hijack an enemy gang's like carriage, and usually they're like hanging out somewhere. So then I just go and like gang up on them and then wait for people that try to run to the carriage to drive away with it, and I'll just shoot them. But yeah, they're just I don't know. The gang wars don't really seem that big either. Like once you try to take over a territory, you have a gang war at the end to finally hit that kill the gang leader. And there's still only like 5 or 6 people behind you while you kill the rest of them. And I still end up killing most of the other gang anyways because you're a badass and it takes like 2 seconds to kill them. But I mean,
their gang name is Puppies.
They're still really good at creating that open world, that environment. There's not that many games that are set in Victorian London. I mean, there's I mean, Bloodborne kind of is.
I would say if you're a fan of
yeah.
Oh, did it go off? I think regardless if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, though, you should check it out.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
I think
definitely.
it's worth it.
I think it's worth it. Yeah,
I'll check the camera real
it's
quick.
not a day one buy, but Little Big Planet had lots of character to it. The Sackboy was cute as shit.
Yeah.
No, I love the concept of it. I just don't like those kind of games.
They're what were you like side scrollers?
I love those games.
You don't
on,
like games where you can be you?
Yeah, I love games like
I
that.
want to be someone else in a game.
I like those unportables though. I don't like I don't want to play a console game.
They had it on Vita,
Something
but I
like
actually
that.
didn't like the Vita version of Little Big Planet. I liked.
I didn't get into that game at all though. The characters just because it was like yeah, it was cute, but to me I'm like I don't want to play a cute character.
It was one of those games.
Like it doesn't say anything.
Put him in
Really.
a badass costume instead.
Like,
mine was a vampire.
it was one of those games that like every time I
The
played it,
generic
I
ones
was
that
like,
comes with.
this is really cool. And I wanted to, and I download other people's levels and play them. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yo, this is awesome. Like, this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it never kept my interest that long. You know what I mean? Like, it was just
That's
like,
true.
every time I played it, I'm like, oh, this is sweet. Like, I can go on, like, these people made that. That's awesome. The same thing with, like, Trials. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, wow, people made this. This is really cool. And I went through it. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, there's no more gold anymore. You know, I'm just kind of like, well, like,
That's cool.
I mean, they have these people. I'll play the top level every now and then, and it's really, really cool. But
Yeah.
like,
That's the same problem
Why?
Super Mario Maker is having right
Yeah.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no worlds or anything. There's some pre-made Nintendo ones, and it's hard on that system just because they're so archaic with their online functionality. It's not even good. It's not even easy to find like top-rated levels on there. So I mean, that's what essentially Dreams is. Dreams is more, instead of a side scroller, it's more like a third-person share, create, play game.
you play Impy
But I feel
Kruger.
like also with Little Big Planet, thinking about it, Little Big Planet and Mario Maker, they're both side scrollers. So
They
it's
are.
a lot easier to just like copy paste. Like that's my
Oh,
level
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But this is
This
like
gives
the
you
whole world. So
and they-
I just don't know how they're gonna put that into a game that works. I just feel it. I don't know.
If anybody can do it,
I don't
though,
understand
be-
game
it's like
dynamics.
if anybody
sorry.
can do it, it's
Yeah,
them,
I
because
have full
they-
faith in that developer.
fine.
I
I'm
think they'll
sure.
make that happen. I'll definitely
I
check
think they
it
will.
out because it is a unique concept.
yeah, and
But
I'm just
it
worried
looks cool.
that if I were actually to go in there and try to create a level, it's going to be really complicated. I'm just going to get bored.
I
I don't think
what's gonna be cool
that'll
about
be a
it.
problem.
Personally, I play Little Big Planet. I didn't give a shit about making levels. I just wanted to play stuff. And
Yeah, I think-
as long as they just let me play stuff without me having to create, I'm fine. I'll play it. But
You're
That's
just
how I
going to
am.
be playing other people's levels.
But
well,
that,
I mean,
Not
me
doing that, yeah.
in Little Big Planet, they had a story mode, and
Yeah.
they had a bunch of levels
Yeah.
that you could play.
Well, I don't think Dreams, they haven't said anything about it.
No, but I think Media Molecule.
But
will
what
do
I
that.
think is cool about Dreams, though, is the fact that I don't think you're going to be picking whose dreams you're going to, at least from what I've seen so far.
No, yeah. It doesn't,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it'll be cool. It's like, yeah, you'll be going to other people's created dreams, but you don't know what you're going to. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
it can
you know,
be
it's
anything,
like
yeah.
any door, whatever they were saying, can be a passageway to a new dream. When you go through a door, you end up in a new dream. You're not necessarily like in Little Big Planet. If you want to go play somebody else's level, you pick what level you want to play.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean? Like, this is just kind of like, oh well, here goes nothing. You
Yeah.
go through a door, you're like, all right, well, this is where I am.
Taking a leap of faith.
Now what? You know,
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it. It's like, yeah, and it's like, wow, this is player created. Somebody made this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what you're getting
You know,
into.
so you never know where you're gonna go. Like that big rat creature that was.
And I like how easy it is to end your level that you create too, because I could just make one. Spend an hour in this episode, so ciao, you guys. We're gonna try to get all of our technical stuff figured out.
Yeah, I'll mess with it tomorrow.
I know. I was just boasting about our new camera to start this off, and it's been absolutely disappointing so far. So we're gonna work on it. I promise.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Otherwise-
Transitioning into Halo though, because I just in my mind the whole like Assassin's Creed feeling like Assassin's Creed every year, it just feels like the same thing. That was the big reason I didn't want to get this Halo, was because Halo started feeling that way to me, where it was just like, even though they weren't making it every year, Halo is just like, it just
It's just
felt
Halo.
like Halo. But I did get this one, and it
Maverick and I played co-op
we played
whole-
through the campaign on co-op.
the whole campaign, one sitting.
Only about 6 hours on heroic, so it's like it was.
Yeah, we
Wow, that quick?
Yeah, it was only about.
Dude,
we played.
we're
We had
also badasses,
5
but-
hours and 55 minutes of gameplay on heroic
That's
difficulty.
quick.
Probably would have been
Just
quick.
us two would have been even quicker if
Yeah,
we
but-
had two more
Seriously?
people, because our two AIs don't do shit.
So-
the companion AI is
So
terrible.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you enjoy?
I did enjoy it because it feels really different, and it does feel a little more like modernized, where it's like, yeah, the default is the left trigger aiming and like all that, like more Call of Duty style. I personally switched it back to the old school controls on it because I do like the old Halo, especially whenever I'm playing Halo. I like the old controls where it's like
I
left
was a huge fan of them,
trigger's
too.
grenade, right stick click in is to zoom in. That
I used to
kind of
always rock
stuff.
the bumper jumper, so I
Yeah,
could always have
bumper
my
jumper.
analog sticks free to aim and shoot people.
Mhm. And so it was just one of those where it was like, yeah, I switched back to the old controls, but there is a lot of new. I mean, ever since they implemented sprinting, that's just one of those new features that they added. That like I do enjoy that. But now you can branch off of sprinting and do slides, which is another Call of Duty thing. But you can do like kind of shoulder, like boosted melees, but they actually use that in the campaign where it's like, yeah, there's special hidden pathways and stuff. It felt really open.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the missions, a lot
paths.
of the missions had where it was more like, this is what's there. There's lots of different ways to get around. You could find hidden passageways, which were like walls that you could only break down by doing like one of those sprint slams.
That's pretty cool.
And like kind of sneak around. Like there were a couple times there was like, yeah, there was a turret that was really bothering us, but then it was like, oh, there's this little passageway right here. I can break through there and actually get behind the turret. There was one where there was this like a whole bunch of crap going on. There was a wraith in front of this, and we had to take down the shield generator in order to get on the other side of this shield. And there was a wraith and all kinds of crap in front of it. Oliver's up there dying, trying to kill the wraith and everything. I managed to walk underneath, find a hidden door. The hidden door takes you right behind the shield, and you don't have to deal with any of that. And I was like, oh, by the way, Oliver, I'm inside. Have fun out there. Like stuff like that, and even just the gameplay itself is like, it feels a lot faster.
Yeah,
it's the fastest Halo.
They're going for it.
I love it.
It feels a lot faster. But I really enjoyed it because like it still does retain that Halo feel to the point where it's like you're playing Halo.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It's not stale like.
It feels almost like reinvented.
It does feel like they reinvigorated it. And I'm having fun with it. I haven't had much time to play outside of Tuesday night when it came out, but I enjoyed it. I was like, I was pleasantly surprised by it.
What about the story?
And it's really pretty.
You think the story, like,
Every game we're talking about, we end with, and it's really pretty.
No, this game is really pretty.
It's really pretty, and it's a solid 60 FPS throughout.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's a really smooth, very well running game.
It's a pretty game.
Good compared to Master Chief Collection, which was a disaster. We only got disconnected once, and luckily we were. It was right at the last level, right before we were about to beat it.
It was literally the last level,
thing we had to do,
like the last checkpoint, and we just went through all this crazy crap, and then it just like disconnected. I'm like,
we're like, if we have to do that,
we need to do all of that again. Luckily, we
I'll
didn't.
be disappointed, but I'll still do it.
I was like, I'm trading it in. I'm like, we're going to multiplayer.
But luckily, it made a checkpoint right where we left off, and we were able to get right back in.
That's awesome.
That was launch day, so you're expected to have some network issues,
kind of hiccups.
But that was it. Like we played fine, and it was really smooth. As far as the story, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, just let us know your impressions of it. Like good, bad. How does it match up compared to the other Halo stories?
It's okay. It's not definitely not the best story out of all the campaigns.
What do you guys think your favorite story is? We can just keep going.
It definitely turned off.
Just try to finish it up.
Yeah, we'll just
okay.
We don't want a bunch of video.
So there's a couple of issues I have with it. First, you fight a boss, and he's kind of cool, and it's like the 3rd level, I think.
Damn Warden.
He's called Warden Eternal. Only you come to find out that he's the only boss, and then you fight him over again. And the only way they make him harder is by putting more of him. So maybe the next time you'll fight him, there's 2 of them. The next time, there's 3 of them.
That's stupid.
And it was so dumb.
Is that the guy in the trailer that they show? Like,
the big guy with like the orange face.
Like,
the annoying alien race. What's the alien race called?
Prometheans.
God, I hate the Prometheans.
Yeah, and he's the only boss you fight. You fight him at least 6 times. In this. Yeah, they actually I think they made the Prometheans a little bit more interesting to fight just because they added like more versions of them.
Is there any brutes in this?
No,
unfortunately.
No.
You don't fight the Covenant that often in this game.
That's sad.
I always enjoyed fighting the Covenant more because I like grunts.
Yeah, the grunts are hilarious. The grunt party.
They're still hilarious. There was an Easter egg I found that Oliver never even got a chance to see, but I come across this like room with a shield generator, and there's like a bunch of grunts in there. And there was one grunt that was legitimately. It was essentially like a not a choir, an orchestra of grunts.
Yeah.
And one was like, I guess it was a choir because they were singing. And like there was one that was up front, kind of like orchestrating.
No
and
way.
All the grunts were like down there singing, and then you like get the shield down and kill them. But like the second the shield goes down, they stop singing, and of course that's when Oliver got up there. But and then we were like, oh, let's reload the checkpoint, and it already was past that
right
point.
After, yeah.
But it was just so funny. I got up there, I'm like, they're singing, and there was this one up there like. So they still have those random like grunt Easter eggs, and they say just random.
They were the
things. So
funniest
I always
thing.
love fighting the Covenant.
If you go online, there's a video of one. It's remember when you're in What's cool they did this time is that you go into these areas that you don't shoot anything. You're just walking around.
Yeah.
And you remember that time where you're with the Covenant?
Mm-hmm.
You can like stand by a grunt, and he's having this conversation with with another elite, and he's just talking about his past experiences in the past Halo games, how he used to be Halo, how he teamed up with the Didact, and
that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
8-minute long thing, and
it's
really funny. Yeah,
I love that
the grunts are still awesome.
But you fight the Prometheans a lot that game.
Yeah, and
as long as they made it more interesting, that's cool. I just felt like 343. Come to think of it, Halo 4 was the first time
Halo 4 was a
Prometheans.
really good story. So I was actually, I really was looking forward to this one. But this story, it's kind of, there's a bad person, you're just stopping them, and that's really all there is to it.
So what about like
they introduce these new characters?
Yeah, what about like Locke and Master Chief?
They don't give you any backstory on Locke. Like if you haven't seen,
that was probably what I didn't like the most. Was like Locke was technically the main character of the game.
Yeah, you play Master Chief like maybe the third of the game. The rest is
he just seemed like there was no personality to him because it literally just seemed like you're just a soldier following orders, and then that's how the game ends. I mean, it's just straight through. You really don't care for anybody, which is in the books and everything. Like when they flesh that out, that whole team, like it's interesting.
Yeah,
but you don't get any of that.
That's crazy.
Character development, so you don't really care about anybody. It just seems like, like at the beginning of a level, you pick which character you want to play as, and so like it's just like.
And they had the opportunity to do that. Like they left that in there. There's even like this one cutscene where Nathan Fillion, he plays Buck, who was in ODST.
Yeah.
And he was like, when they first get their mission to chase Master Chief, they're like, he's like, everyone is going to hate us for doing this, right? He's like a hero. And he just basically all he says is he's just a target, just like any other target we do. Like he doesn't give any like insight, or he doesn't like walk away and like has some internal struggle or anything. It's just whatever. He doesn't.
Yeah, it's just that whole the character development throughout that entire game is kind of like, well, I don't really care for anybody here. The only one I really kind of care about is Chief, just because I know him.
Yeah,
it's like
this you've been with him so long.
You know what I mean? It's like this is Chief, and it's just one of those. It's like one of the characters that I don't want to spoil is actually developed fairly well, which kind of like keeps you on your toes throughout the game. But other than that, it's like
just okay.
And then it brings my other issue with it is that this game was built up as a multiplayer game. You're always with your squad, so you're never alone, or your squad never splits up either. They're just always with you. And I wouldn't, if you're playing it solo, this game is not good solo. Like if you're playing by yourself, don't do it.
The campaign,
get some friends to play with you because the squad AI is awful. It's terrible. They're completely useless, and the command you can give them is either kill that or go there. And
that's stupid.
But even when you do that, they don't they don't do much even when you're asking them to kill things or whatever.
Like they even have like specialized weapons. So like one's a sniper, one's close.
No way, and they can't do shit.
I mean, you can change weapons whenever, because that's the thing. I found myself running out of ammo a lot more than I've ever run out of ammo in any Halo game.
Yeah, that's just to get. Well, we were doing heroic also.
But that's the thing. It was like there's a lot of random like weapon drops, just like Promethean weapons and stuff like that, depending on who you're fighting.
Yeah.
So like usually your starting weapons, you run out of the ammo for those.
Yeah,
pretty quickly, and so you end up having to use Promethean weapons or Covenant weapons because it's like you almost instantly. Like it's rare that you find other ammo for the human weapons, for the weapons that you started with. So it's like you kind of pick. Like each character has, you've got like someone with a shotgun, someone with a sniper rifle, someone with an assault rifle, someone with a BR.
Yeah,
but usually at 5-10 minutes into it, you're scrounging for ammo, and you have to pick up other weapons, because I'm totally okay with that because it makes you have to use other things. But I was like,
I think that's cool.
This is the first Halo game that really was like, ammo was a much more precious.
Yeah,
resource
no,
I feel like
usually
Halo, you're not super worried.
No, I'm actually usually full.
Exactly, it was like this one is like you're running out of ammo quickly, which is I did like that because it was like it felt different. Because I'm like, all right, now I have to use some of these other weapons and make that work. Some of these other weapons that I don't really like to use. I'm like, this is all I got. I'm out of ammo. I need to kill these people. I'm like, I gotta turn this little bolter pistol and make that something effective.
Yeah. So that's the single player campaign. It's okay.
But Halo's always been good towards multiplayer.
Yeah,
Right.
and obviously
their new multiplayer mode, Warzone.
It's great. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I've heard the
expect to like it so much. The multiplayer is probably one of the best multiplayer I've had since like Halo 2.
And it's very unique. The whole requisition system.
Yeah, which a lot of people are complaining about because it's microtransaction based, but you can also earn them while you're gaining levels and stuff.
You earn, and the funny thing is, it's like it is technically it's microtransaction based, but it doesn't really. It's not pay to win because it's one of those. It's like you get cards, which you level up you level up during games, and the games you can get up to like 10 levels essentially in the games, and like you get points in the games
within a match.
Within a match,
yeah.
And you with those points you can buy different things, and different things cost a certain amount of points.
Yeah.
But the only way you can unlock it is if you have that card, and so you get like card packs and stuff like that. So you can have like. If you have a card for a Scorpion tank, then once you're in a game and you get enough points for that Scorpion tank, then you can call in that Scorpion tank. And
so it's kind of like your equivalent of like.
But once you use that card, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can get different like boosters, you know, like speed boosts. Or
that's
speed
cool.
Boost,
that's cool.
Boost. But yeah, once you use it, it's gone. So
is that only in a certain game type?
Only in Warzone.
Okay, so
it's only in Warzone. Yeah.
So you can the way you unlock like your different armor customizations and weapon skins. That's through the packs too, and that can go. I mean, that carries through the rest of the game. But you know, getting the Scorpion tanks or this boost.
That's why I like Warzone.
Only in Warzone.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
cool.
Warzone's like one of the first Halo multiplayer mode that has NPCs in it too, where like you're
oh no way
Warden Eternal comes and shows up every once in a while.
Yeah, so essentially it's like you've got
kind of
in a way. That's all I'm thinking.
You start out and it drops you off into your base, and it's overrun by like some random NPCs, like
Covenant or Prometheans.
Prometheans. So your first step is clear your base of all of those enemies to recapture that. Second step is like on the level we kept playing was there's an armory that you got the East Armory, the West Armory, and then there's a fortress in the middle, and then each team's base on each side. So you got to go to like the West Armory, and that's overrun by either Promethean. That's overrun by Prometheans essentially, and so you got to clear the Prometheans from there, which are just random NPCs, and then capture that base.
Yeah.
And then once you capture that base, then you get Marine NPCs that kind of take over the base, and so to help guard it from when the other team's trying to take it. And then you go to the fortress and you try to capture that. That's the middle point. If you have all of the outside ones captured, then it opens up the other team's main base where you can go and destroy like their core and take them out. That's like the way you can end it like right away.
Yeah.
Or it's a total of like 1,000. The goal is 1,000 points, and there's random like special enemies that spawn, like special NPCs that will spawn that are worth a different amount of points. So like, let's say you're losing by like 500 points, and then all of a sudden, it's like you've only got one base, you're not doing too well. All of a sudden, the Warden spawns and he's worth 250 points. If your team kills him, the next thing you're right back in. It's like you can win the game without just capturing the base. Capturing the bases is good because it kind of it just gives you more spawn points and gets you just a general advantage.
Yeah.
But you can win just by taking out the special enemies. You know what I mean? Like it turns into this rush for like, all right, should I take out the special enemies or should I focus on capturing this? And it's awesome. It's a really tactical game, which you don't get a lot in Halo.
It's super unique to
it. Yeah, it was a very unique concept. And so then that's another one where like when you're using the requisition cards, it's like, oh, should I spend my money right now a little early on and get a good weapon? Like buy myself a sniper rifle or something and have the advantage in the early game? Or should I save it up and when everybody else has spent their stuff, buy a Scorpion tank,
you just destroy,
and then they don't have enough to buy rocket launchers and stuff, so you're like rolling through with your tank and they can't really do much, you know what I mean? So it's like there's that, and it feels really balanced.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm assuming they give you like your credits. You earn them pretty.
You get rec credits too.
Yeah, and you earn them at a fairly decent rate. So a gold pack is worth 10,000 points. Like you get points at the end of each game.
Yeah.
Just to buy, like, you can either buy it with real money or buy it with the points you get. But like a gold pack is 10,000 of the rec points. I was getting around 3,000 to 3,500 rec points per game. So, 3 games, you've got a gold pack, which is the highest level pack you can buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it
and you automatically get a rec pack when you gain
and
a level
when you level up, you get a bronze rec pack. And I guess for the higher levels you get, you might get better rec packs. Yeah. But yeah, it's like every time you level up, you get a rec pack already. So the rec, it's usually not a problem. Like that's why I don't think it's pay to win, because like everybody you can get the rec packs. It's not that hard to get, but it's a cool concept because it's like it's very unique to that. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, and then there's to the other side of that, there's arena multiplayer, and it's fun. It's really well balanced.
I haven't been able to play that yet.
SWAT is amazing still. Their maps are really good. There's a few that I dislike, but I don't hate them.
Yeah.
So they're all really well done, and
there's always maps that it seems like but you find it seems like you end up getting used to playing on them to where you're decent. Or you just hate them all together forever. But
yeah, but I feel like on Arena you definitely need to play with a good team, just because the way the ranking works is that you need like 3 wins in a row to get the next rank up.
That's why we're gonna mob together.
We'll
do some live streams too for you guys.
Sure, a multiplayer, definitely.
That'd be fun.
I played a ton of that. I'm like level 12 now. So I did like SWAT. There's Breakout.
Sounds like there's tons of different game modes they have going on.
Team Slayer, and then Team something. But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely a Halo that I can play long term. And
that's awesome.
And all the DLC's free for it because they're using the money from the rec packs to just make the maps free.
That's sweet.
So
that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, end of the day, recommend it.
If you have friends that'll play Halo with you, I definitely recommend it. If you're just playing by yourself, I don't know.
I still recommend the game just because the multiplayer. It's like
the multiplayer alone. I think sounds like it's worth it.
Yeah, if you like playing online,
it's Halo. I mean, it's and
it feels really a lot like Halo.
Like
still.
If you like multiplayer shooters, I suggest it. I enjoyed it. Hello.
Well, I think that we'll wrap up episode 7. It's been a pleasure, guys. And sorry so much for all the technical difficulties. There was a lot of issues.
New camera. We'll get it sorted out.
Yeah. As always, we always have issues when we get new stuff. But we'll figure it out and get everything together. But thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. Subscribe to us. We love you guys. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your night.
And say bye to the Halloween pumpkin. He's gone.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Oh, God.
He's gonna be the best gaming pumpkin spice latte ever.
We should get a turkey for next month,
dude. And a Christmas tree, like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
I could bring in a turkey.
Okay.
He's gonna bring a
live turkey.
You know that.
Let's get that.
Absolutely. We use them for shows. So I mean, and once I do my once I do my animal handler training with love.
Okay.
You can stuff him with love and
I will.
Pets.
A live turkey.
What would you guys do if I showed up for the next podcast with Thanksgiving podcast?
Yeah.
Be loud as shit.
But yeah, happy Halloween, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, happy Halloween. I'm gonna get this up before then.
Also play the spooky games that we talked about
Merry Halloween, guys.
Yeah, you should
check out our spooky Let's Plays too.
Yeah.
Did that.
If you haven't checked out any of our spooky podcasts, you can check that out too.
Yeah.
Link in the description. But
all right.
Click right here.
See you guys.
See you.